I'm Benito Skinner.
I'm Mary Beth Barone.
And this
Is
Ride.
Spooktacular. It's the HayRide.
It's the haunted HayRide Halloween Spooktacular here on Ride. I have nails today. Who knows what could happen? My kitty. My kitty nails. Spooky. Rabbit. They're going to get the full video for this episode. That's our Halloween treat. No tricks this year, just treats.
Just treats. Something sweet for you.
I will just tell everyone, I'm going to forget everything I say as I say it because I have face tape on right now. But we are currently dressed as Belle.
From Beauty and the Beast.
No, we are, of course, Kylie and
Irina.
At the Schiaparelli Couture
Fashion
show. Because what could be spookier than wearing the same thing as someone else?
You got me.
You got me, girl. Do you know how hard it is to sit in a quiet movie theater, i.e. the Metrograph by Dime Square in New York City, next to your best friend, and when it gets really quiet in the theater, not turn to her and say, Rabbit!
There were several moments last night.
Spooky dookie, girl.
And we were surrounded by cinephiles. I have to say, cinephiles don't have great spatial awareness. The snack section at the Metrograph was like traffic jam.
I said, am I in a labyrinth? Oh, am I in a corn maze?
No, it's just literary people.
I used to love those corn mazes. I would have my mom drop me off with all my besties, and we'd go through corn mazes in Idaho.
Wow, I've never experienced one.
We'll do it. We'll do it in these
After
costumes.
This, yeah, we'll go to Hudson.
We had a full day in these costumes. I just want everyone to know that.
We got to the photo shoot at 8.
I was washing off my spray tan at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
We got to the photo shoot at 8. She was chewing earlier on a French fry, and I almost had to do the Keimlich on her.
When we got here, we were so hungry because we were at the photo shoot. we hadn't eaten yet. So I shoved French fries in my mouth right before I went to pee, and then I couldn't swallow them. My body forgot how to swallow. It's been that many hours since I've eaten last. So then I was like, oh, I might have to run and just like get the Keimlich maneuver.
The Keimlich, which just picture me in these tiny little kitten heels.
Kitten heels.
Kitten heels, hip pads in, just.
Shoulders like a linebacker, and then.
Ooh.
And then the food just shoots out. And then we would continue to do the podcast.
Well, Dear Media paid for the studio, so we're not about to,
I'm so glad we're in the spooky season. I'm really feeling the spirit.
Oh, I mean, that's all we wanted. We wanted kids to get into the spirit.
Yeah.
We wanted our Barones to feel like they could just totally let it all hang out.
Let your freak flag fly. Today we have some important Halloween themed rides, of course.
Yeah. Oh my God. The rides today are so incredible. But before we begin, there's some spooky things that have happened. So today someone brought up to us, they said, I didn't really know about the whole dog shite in the trash can thing. I'm someone who does that. Listen to Kylie as she says this. You can do it if the trash can is full because the garbage trucks have not come yet. Okay? So with my nails, I feel incredible. I'm so powerful.
The lion is half of my face too, by the way.
No, I know.
It's kind of cool. There's
Mufasa.
some anonymity.
Mufasa. Shout out to the Etsy shop. We'll tag them on Ride the Pod for making these for us. We love you, MILUVS.
They posted on Facebook and said, done with lions for a while.
They go, we're done with lions for a while. She gave me a 2-for-1 offer.
Special commission.
And a huge shout out to Christopher Palou who made these costumes for us. They're pretty much to a T. I won't lie.
Incredible. Very luxe.
Very luxe. But what I said to her was, and I didn't say this in the original episode, you can put the dog shite in the garbage if the garbage is full. If it's empty, that means the person has to put it back in their house. Because I get it. I've been there where I'm like, well, this is just a trash can. But you have to think about that. Have to think outside yourself. Don't be so selfish. Nothing scarier to me than that.
Than being selfish.
Or your garage smelling like stinky doo-doo.
Well, in New York, I think it's a little different because a lot of garbage cans are just left outside for the whole week because that's where people put their garbage from the building.
Yeah.
So if that's the case for you, obviously that's not being brought into someone's home. I think the flow chart of how to ask yourself a question of, should I put my dog shit in this trash can? Is it being brought back into someone's house before it gets emptied? Next.
You have to make that flow chart.
I will make the flow chart. So I have dog shit in a bag. Do I put it in this trash can? Yes or no? You have to ask yourself, just ultimately think, would I want this done to me in my home?
I'm just laughing thinking of They gave us a podcast. They really let us do this. We have other costumes that are going to allude to some of the things on the pod, but we wanted today to kind of be its own moment.
This is the kickoff of Halloween week. It's the 7 days of Halloween.
You know.
Spooky.
So speaking of spooky dookie, I just want everyone to know that when I said the new rules of cheating, of course, new ones are going to pop up. You're going to know when they hit you. And one hit me the other day. So Terry had been gone in Paris. I mean, traveling is such a privilege. He was in Paris and he came back and I had really missed him. What was that?
Honk if you love Terry.
Honk, literally. So I get out of the shower first and then Terry goes in the shower and he plays 3 songs that I've never heard before in my life. So I'm on edge.
Give everyone a second and just absorb that. Because that's really tough.
It was real. I mean, I had chills down my spine. I said, there's a stranger in the house.
There's no way you could be who you say you are. You got to be someone else.
And then I'm like, I let it slide. I mean, I shouldn't have, but I let it slide. That's on me. And I go downstairs and then Terry comes downstairs in clothes that I had never seen before. A new jacket and a new pair of pants. 3 new tracks.
And 2 new items of
and
clothing.
2 new pieces. He had 2 pieces on. And I was like, I don't even know you. And I said that. I go, you're a complete stranger to me.
You said, what's his address?
I said,
of your new guy.
I said, why don't you guys just film yourselves fucking and send it to me? Would that be easier?
It
probably
might be
easier for us.
Yeah,
it'd be easier for us. So, yeah, I just want everyone to stay vigilant. Things like this can happen out of nowhere. Horror movies taught us that. Rom-coms taught us that.
And the bad guy is not always going to be who you think.
No. Keep your eyes open, me loves.
Show me the beast.
Show me the beast. And then it's Belle. She goes, they let him go.
What?
Maurice, crazy old Maurice is free.
Why are you freaking out? Did Maurice die in the film? I can't remember.
No. Disney wasn't into Carnage yet. Not until Tarzan.
Well, dead moms.
Well, dead moms, of course. And Mufasa. We can't say his name today.
I'm covering earmuffs.
See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Oh.
Poor guy. These are stuffed animals.
These are stuffed animals.
I mean, they're like, they are truly stuffed animals. They're not taxidermy or anything.
No. Stuffed animals, we promise.
Don't hunt. And if someone has a picture of them hunting on their Hinge profile, you better report them immediately. Like if they have a picture holding like big game, to me, that's like, no.
Big game.
Not only am I not going to,
you didn't tell me you were going to give me a fright in this episode. Big game.
Sorry, not only am I going to not match you, I'm going to report you. That's violence.
So this week, I'm going to be writing for the London Heckler. I've already kind of talked about my love of Halloween.
King of Halloween.
Stop.
Sorry, everyone's thinking it.
That's very sweet.
I'm just saying it.
It just makes me so happy. And I hope if anyone's taken anything from my Halloween costumes is that you can always do a great couples costume. I've done so many with you and Terry. It's just so fun. It was my favorite thing in college. And I think I did kind of like wake people up to Halloween a little bit when I was in college, because it'd be like, if you try, it's about 1,000 times more fun. Like if you put a little bit of effort in, a little bit of creativity, it's just the best day. It's the best. I think it is the best partying weekend in college.
And it doesn't have to break the bank.
No.
Because you can go to a Goodwill. This was free.
Yeah.
You can go to a Goodwill. You can go to a Salvation Army. You can go to a thrift shop and just see what inspires you.
Yeah.
And Halloween costume can look like anything.
If you do a ride costume, I don't know what we'll do.
This week, I'm going to be riding for Halloween hookups.
This is, welcome to the Haunted HayRide.
Let's get into it.
First, there was Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the Zodiac Killer. Now there's the London Heckler. So we just got back. We just got back a little bit ago from doing 4 London shows at Bush Hall. It was incredible. So much fun. We love you.
We love you guys.
We love you.
All right.
Be honest. honest.
Be honest. I am being honest. That's an Easter egg for next week's episode.
You're so posh right now.
I am being honest.
Be honest.
Be honest.
I want to make art and I want to make trouble. Do you know how hard it was for us not to both be Cruella today?
It took a lot of effort to not be Cruella.
To be
I
Emma
kept
Thompson
waking up in a full
Cruella.
Cruella outfit. I slipped and fell the other day. When I stood up, I was in a Cruella costume. I had to take it off.
I had the wig on.
Really hard.
So we were in London where they shot Cruella. And at the very first show, we're about 4 minutes into the set
Friday
at Ride
night.
Live.
It's Friday night.
It's Friday night. We cannot wait to see all of you on Ride Live. I cannot believe how fast you bought all those tickets. It's kind of scary. I mean, come on.
I mean, what's scarier than selling out?
So.
That was really good.
I'm delirious. I can't feel this face tape. I can't feel anything. So it's making me even more emotional talking about the London heckler. So about 3 to 4 minutes in, this Irish woman in our show, everything we said, she started going, oh, yeah. And you would think maybe once or twice we're like, yeah, it's like we love that spirit. But the London heckler, she was a consistent queen.
Not only that, but it was every time either laughter or clapping would stop.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time it was, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I was like, okay, first of all, she's not okay.
No, and that's the best part. Also, she would do it. She was such a little show queen because she would do it at the end of the laughter or the clapping. So it wasn't like in the middle and it's like, yeah, like you know, it couldn't get drowned out.
No, it's once things have quieted down.
Once it was quiet, sometimes she would stand up and go, oh yeah.
It was all eyes on her a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was getting to the point where we had no choice but to continue to address it throughout the show.
Well, it was shocking because in London, it was very clear that like no one was going to kick her out, which I didn't necessarily need that. I would have just loved like a maybe like stop or, you know, definitely one of her friends to
potentially send her home.
Yeah, I think that could have been.
And if she, you know, had messaged us the next day, hey, I got a little bit too tipsy last night. Mm-hmm. Is there any way I could come to one of the other shows? We would have totally been happy to comp this person.
And not to give anything away about your ride, but also, you know, if someone had to leave the show for like 20 minutes or something, I've seen you help an Oscar-winning actress get home and make out with a billionaire in 45 minutes. And the Ride Live is about 3 hours when we have intermission.
So you would have missed nothing.
You would have come right back in, wouldn't have missed a beat.
I made it back to the party.
Of course you did.
After saving a life.
You had to make out with a billionaire tycoon.
An oil tycoon. It was a huge night for us.
It was a huge night for us. So
the heckler, but one more thing about, so we kind of had to get into a good cop, bad cop dynamic with this heckler.
Well, of course. I mean, this is my favorite thing. After a while, we started having to play into the bit. And Terry at one point, Terry at intermission came backstage and he goes, see how it feels?
Well, she weaponized our words against us.
She weaponized, yeah, and not dropping it, which is, it's me coded a little bit. I won't lie. But we had to start playing into the bit. Sometimes we'd be like, all right, well, now you have to do it. Like, you know, at the end, it kind of sounds like.
For the record.
I know, which I was good cop. But this happened. You want to talk about scary. Scary, spooky. I'm looking at Mary Beth, and then peripherally, I'm seeing the London heckler. Mary Beth says something, looks at the screen, and I just, oh, yeah. And I just see Mary Beth, she just flips her hair, looks, and turns back around and continues, and kind of like eye rolls a little bit. It was bone chilling, but it was perfect. It was fun. I mean, I love that show. Like, that show was so much fun.
It was so fun. It gave me a great opportunity because at one point I said, how much would you charge to haunt a house?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that was a total hit with the crowd.
Oh my God. I wish we could tour it.
Huge moment, huge opportunity.
Yeah.
A testament to how good Ride Live is. Her friends that were with her thought that it was a better idea to just stay until the end.
Stacy did.
Than to take her home and miss out on part of Ride Live.
I do have to say something else about her, and why I ride for her is because I've always said, make your mark, make an impact. Haven't I?
Always.
Make your legacy.
Okay, so at the shows following, because that was the first show of 4,
Yeah.
we had to, of course, reference that there was a very, very loud and pronounced heckler at the first show. So every subsequent crowd knew of the existence of the London heckler.
Of course.
If that's fair to say.
Yeah, which make your mark, make your legacy. Come on, leave an
Yeah.
impact. She was leaving something for the kids, much like our merch. Coming soon. Cat. Fuck.
The spookiest part is that her only recollection of the night was that she saw Charlie XCX in the bathroom. And then she said, I had a great time. I don't remember much, but I had a great time. I'm thinking, your friends, honest conversations, we need to start having them.
Nothing could be spookier than the truth. Let me tell you.
Wow.
No, also, I love that she said that she just saw Charlie in the bathroom. Charlie, the winner of Bestie of the Year at the show with the London heckler. It was definitely one of the more iconic shows.
One of the more eventful shows.
Charlie said, yeah, that the girl heckling you, she saw me in the bathroom and went, it's Charlie, baby. She was like rowdy. She gave like American Dude.
Yeah.
I just think, you know what? It's like sometimes those things happen and yes, they make something harder, but in the end you have the story and the lore.
And no one got hurt.
And no one got hurt and it was communal. And you know what? Every now and then it's like good to challenge yourself as a performer. It's like, can I stay focused? I can't tell you how difficult this was to stay focused. Like I am already like, I jump everywhere. I mean, you've heard the pod, I hope. You all have heard the pod. Like, you know, I will jump all over the place. So it was, every now and then I'd have to look at you and be like, what?
Well, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. One being you, one being the London heckler.
And you when you had dermatitis.
Oh, yeah. That was really tough. So I just want to say to the London heckler, like, our goal is not to make you feel bad. I don't want to make you feel like you are bad or should stop listening to the podcast.
We're putting our claws up for her. It's like that girl, there's this video of this girl who was at our Philly show. We still don't know where this video is. We don't know where she is, but she was dancing to Clarity.
She was hopping to Clarity.
She was hopping out of the
She hopped out of frame and we never saw her again.
And as I said then, something tells me we'll never see her again.
Well, what's crazy is that I reposted that video, the Instagram story, to my account, and we reposted it to Ride the Pod. When I go back to find it, it's the only one that doesn't load.
Yeah.
That video. She said, it's my birthday. It's a blonde girl at the Philly show. She's dancing. Clarity's blasting. She starts hopping, hops out of frame. No evidence.
And don't reveal yourself. Some things are better left unsaid. We ride for you ultimately because it just, to now have a spooky campfire story. I mean, how lucky are we?
Our heart goes out to everyone, just to reiterate that. And I feel like maybe look inward. Instead of revealing yourself, look inward.
And to the friends, you know, we've all been there. We've all wanted to stay the course. But as I said,
are you gonna stay the night? Doesn't mean we're bound for life. Are you gonna stay the night?
Wait, I just pictured the cover of that movie Lion, and it's us. Lion with Dev Patel.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's the saddest story ever told.
I saw.
Nicole Kidman, right?
Yeah, she's his mom.
I mean, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But this is Lion 2. Super Size Me.
Super Size Me.
Wait, we won't have talked about Super Size Me yet. Fuck.
Oh, Super Size Me's coming. Wait, I love how the weekend. This nail's gonna come off. So, London heckler, we see you. Our heart goes out to everyone. And thank you. You know what? I'm gonna say thank you.
It makes us stronger as performers to have to encounter things like that. I would say next time you're at a comedy show, just pace yourself.
Pace yourself,
Only
sister.
because you paid for a ticket and you might want to remember it one day.
And
so
your
you
friends
can tell your
paid.
grandkids.
Your friends paid for a ticket. Come on.
I will say one thing that's really difficult as a performer is like knowing what to do if someone's being like that, because when you have someone removed from a show, it sucks all the air out of the room.
Oh, totally.
Like sometimes if they're being harmless and not necessarily like mean or nasty, like, you can just let them stay. And it's the path of least resistance. And so as long as it's not taking away from other people's enjoyment of it, which I think, we made a bit out of it and it was fine. Having security come and remove someone, it like derails the show.
Yeah. So. And we weren't in danger. We will say that. Like the London Heckler was not like, Jack the Ripper or the Zodiac Killer in any sense. She has a moniker. So like that to me is so iconic. Well, I mean, that's huge.
After the London show, we did an episode where we said, "Oh yeah," a few times. And someone DM'd me and said, I have PTSD from the "oh yeahs" in this week's episode because of the London Heckler.
No, we have to reclaim it. I need it back. But it was a good lesson. And I guess if, Terry's not responding to the second or third, yeah. You can only use "oh yeah" when you've just said something self-deprecating. Yeah. That's like the point of it. It's like, oh, something pathetic. Just that I was just being pathetic. And then you go, yeah. Also, a few times when we were like through the audience, because obviously we go and again, don't judge how I spend time with my kids. We go through the audience and we talk to everyone. And she was, oh yeah, Mary Beth stands on stage. I run around.
My feet are firmly planted on stage.
That's my girl. Hey, you earned that stage. You stay on it. But I run around and she was like really standing up a lot. And her friends were kind of, I could tell they were like, oh, I really hope he never gives her the mic. And I knew better than that. She had the mic all night. Let's just say that. So London Heckler, love you, kid.
Love you, kid. How fabulous.
How fabulous. Halloween spooktacular.
The spooktacular HayRide.
All right. Okay, let's get into your ride. I'm so excited.
Halloween hookups. I just have so much to say. So Halloween,
same,
much like life, is what you make it.
Halloween in college and in your 20s, it's a regular fuck fest.
I just want to say that I've always gone hard on Halloween.
Yeah.
My mom was big into Halloween. She used to decorate our porch and our front hall.
Yeah.
It was very spooky for the weeks leading up. And we would trick or treat. And I had some amazing costumes as a kid, a teen, and then into college. So I took it very seriously. One Halloween weekend, I had 3 costumes. I was a slutty baby. I was Guy Fawkes, V for Vendetta, but I wore a tight American Apparel dress with the like scoop back.
So cool.
And my roommate wrote the monologue, the V for Vendetta monologue on my back.
Wow.
And then the third night, I was Katy Perry, Teenage Dream.
Wow, the greats.
It was 3 of the greats.
Those 3 things make you.
Yeah, they really, really do. remember the 5th of November. So unfortunately, my Guy Fawkes mask was taken from me by someone that I had a crush on. And he said he would give it back that night, but never did. Because I followed up with him days later and he said he had lost it.
People taking clothes or items or costumes and not giving them back.
Special place in hell. We're going to send the London Heckler on your ass.
Yeah, seriously.
And Johnny, if you're out there, I never forgot that you lost my Guy Fawkes mask.
Johnny, you're on notice.
You're on notice, okay?
Oh, Nina Drama loves Halloween. Oh, yeah.
So Halloween is this amazing time to let loose. Also, that specific Halloween, my mom called and said, if our family dog was going to die, would you want me to tell you?
Wait, this was a legendary weekend.
This was a legendary weekend. It was Halloween. Luckily, Bailey did not die that weekend. She lived for many, many years after that. But I just find Halloween is this amazing opportunity to feel your fantasy.
Oh, are you kidding?
You can be whoever you want to be.
You're saying this to a kid who grew up in the closet. I mean, it was a really big, Halloween it meant so much more to me than I think anyone knew. Also, it's right around my birthday, which I don't care as much about anymore. But I celebrate. It's like that's my thing.
Well,
and I just love,
it's fun.
I love the fantasy of it. It's just so fun. I mean, look at us, kid.
I mean, really, look at us.
You really let me drag you into this. And I love it.
I love dressing up. I love getting to like embody a new character. And I feel like part of that is going out with this renewed confidence when you're in a costume.
Yeah.
Because you do have like a mask figuratively and sometimes literally that you can sort of protect yourself behind. So
we all wear a mask.
We all wear a mask. And I think it's just fun to go out on the town with your friends and say, my mind and my heart are both open. And let's see if I can flirt and maybe have a little kiss with someone.
I think it's true. I think the costumes allow people to they just let their guards down. Not in an unsafe way. I hope, we're not really alluding to that. But they just, oh God, these nails. I could literally pet everything. Can I pet you?
It's nice.
Isn't that fucking
feels
incredible?
great.
There's just something about the costumes that just make everything like, it's just, I'm not me tonight. And
I'm
during
Jessica
that time,
Rabbit.
I'm Jessica Rabbit. I was Elmo one night and I made out with a bunch of people. Yeah, a bunch
That's
of
hot.
girls. Made out with a bunch of girls.
See, you're just having fun. You're playing with form.
Not Kylie in her lesbian era.
So a few examples of Halloween hookups, and my entire ride this week is cheating because, as you know, I'm happily in love. But there
we
was a
never
time
said
before
that we
that.
ourselves weren't cheating. What did I just reveal?
that you made out
But
with
I'm
girls
sure
dressed
Terry
as
was
Elmo.
like practically having sex when he was dressed like Amelia Earhart. When I found out who he was in college, I was like, yeah, that's my gay guy. He was Amelia Earhart and just a witch all the time. I think he might have been Lord one year too. Maybe that was just
Whoa.
his sister.
That's a great costume for anyone in the O'Connor family.
Totally.
So one year I went out dressed as Kim Kardashian, which was one of my most comfortable costumes because it was just like gray sweatpants and a gray bra from Everlane. It was in her Yeezy era.
I should have been Kim today because Kylie is,
Yeah.
she's more elaborate.
It's corseted. And I had a really long blonde wig. And I met this guy. This was a very big victory for me. So I met this guy who was dressed as Wolf Blitzer at one party. And then I got his number. And then I went to another party made out with a different person. And then me and the Wolf Blitzer guy got breakfast the next day.
Wait, you didn't hook up with Wolf Blitzer though. It was just breakfast.
We hooked up after breakfast. So it still counts. It's
You
still
got
Halloween weekend.
A little bacon, egg, and cheese.
It's still contained within the Halloween weekend. And then
I
that
love that.
person who I'm now still friends with introduced me to one of my very best friends in Los Angeles. So that's a Halloween hookup that worked out really well.
Yeah.
There was another Halloween hookup that was at your house where I was barricaded into your bedroom, served a handle of tequila, dressed as Cher. And I don't have a single picture from that night because I had a Halloween hookup and that was that on that.
Well, I have to tell you, I was so sad that night that you didn't really go out because I had just done your makeup. But also, Emily I think she'd be fine with me saying this. It's Halloween weekend. She knows it's the Haunted HayRide episode. It's like all bets are off. Emily was like kind of having like an emotional night that night. And she was crying, but both of us were dressed as Bratz dolls as what the Bratz would have been for Halloween. So I was a sexy kitty and she was a nurse.
It had layers.
And Terry was a Bratz doll nun.
I remember that.
And it was so funny because she's talking to me on the bed and I turn to her and I'm just like, I'm like, you know, like, it's going to be okay. You're allowed to feel the way you feel. And she had to take a photo of me in that moment because she's like, you are Chloe, the Bratz doll, saying this to me.
You have to
And I
feel
was
the way
like-
you feel.
I was like, what? Like, come on. You got that. Like, give me a hug. Like, we got this, girl. And, you know, I grab her hand and it was like, what it made me realize is that like the Bratz dolls, it's about sisterhood. So
as most things are,
Yeah.
we've come to find. Another Halloween hookup that sticks out to me would be, of course, the night that we went out in Los Angeles and I saved the life of an Academy Award nominee. I got them home safely, sort of. Well, here's what I learned that night.
This story is very London Heckler to me.
It's very London
Sometimes
Heckler.
there are just those Hollywood nights. I can see it now.
I won't get into every detail, but one thing I will say that I took away from this experience
Mm-hmm.
was if you see someone who is in need and they're in
Mhm.
trouble, you have to go all the way. What I should have done was get in the Uber with this person, make sure they're home safely, get them inside their door, and then I could have come back to the party.
Mm-hmm.
But since I didn't know them prior to that, I didn't want them to think I was like trying to do something or like be weird
Yeah.
or like find out where they live. So
It's a scary
I got
world.
them in the Uber and I set an alarm for them to call me when they got home. Unfortunately, I'm sure they just like snoozed it and slept through that. But I found out the next day that they were totally safe.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as they were getting home, I came back to the party. I found the hottest guy there. He happens to be an oil tycoon. And we made out and it was lovely and it was so low stress. And
Yeah.
I made out with another person that night as well. So it was a very fruitful night for me.
And then you know how the night ended. I threw up at Canner's.
You did.
And my heels were on the ground. Somebody they saw my heels outside. And I just want everyone to know, I think I'm proving to you that Halloween weekend is like my one. That's when I go really hard. Most people who know me say they've never seen me really drunk. Like only a couple times, right?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. No, I will say that you save up your social capital for Halloween weekend.
Yeah, that's when I do it. It's a blowout.
It's a total blowout.
That's when I do it. Then I do everything. No, but I drank so much on accident that night. When I'm feeling the fantasy in that way, like I'm sipping. You know what I mean?
We went to Canner's for food and it was so busy that we waited for an hour and they hadn't even taken our order yet. So luckily you had a chance to throw up in the bathroom. But What's great about Halloween hookups for me is I never go home with the person.
I don't think you should. Having to take a costume off.
Don't go to the second location.
Guess it's not that different from what we all do every night.
Take off our costume. I mean, we're all born naked and the rest is Halloween.
The rest is Halloween.
So I feel like it's just a fun, safe way to like be a little flirty, have a little fun, and take some of the confidence of the character that you're embodying, whoever that may be or whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And just have fun. Like let loose.
No, can you please just let loose?
Please let loose.
And what I have to say is if anyone goes home with someone dressed as Wonka, you have to force them to do the ribbit challenge.
Yeah. On camera.
Or you will not hook up with them.
Yeah.
Hold your body hostage, I would say.
Don't.
Until you hear.
Say it.
Quiet down and listen up. No, scratch that. Reverse it.
Ribbit. So that's the cost of entry.
Now you can come inside. Trick or treat. How about the trick?
Never let anybody make you feel bad about your costume. I remember I was a mermaid.
That's really beautiful. I have a lot to say about that.
I was a mermaid when I was in elementary school, and my mom made this. So I had a bodysuit, and then the shells that were stuck on, and then a mermaid tail and a jean jacket, and I was wearing a crown. And I remember boys made fun of me for this costume because of the seashells on my boobs, or where my boobs would be if I ever got them, which I never did. And so they bullied me. But they bullied me, and there's a photo of me on that Halloween, and I'm so mad. I look just miserable because I'd really let these people affect how I viewed my own costume that I really loved when I was, skipping my way into school. But I got a lot of flack at school for my clothes. I remember for Hawaiian Day, I wore like spandex shorts and one of those shirts that like ties in the middle.
Yeah.
This is in pre-K.
Yeah.
And people like made fun of me. And then of course I wore red pleather pants from Gap Kids when I was in 4th grade. And people just didn't understand me.
I think a lot of people in Connecticut are assholes.
Yeah. Unfortunately they are. And it dimmed my light for a while, but it didn't last.
You know what's so crazy? It's like I got a little bit of that too. And actually in high school, I kind of stopped doing Halloween a little bit. Like I just had this Spider-Man costume that I did every year, which at the time I didn't know was more queer coded than had I been in drag. But what was I to do? But
sign of the times.
It's a sign of the times. But yeah, nothing breaks my heart more. It's like now I feel like a little bit of Halloween is us getting back to our childlike sensibility. You get to wear the seashell bra now.
I do.
On stage even.
Yeah, if I wanted. And I think
You've been known to wear a brassiere on stage.
Of course. Well, it's my time on stage, unless the London Heckler's there, and then it's our time.
And then it's a shared thing. Co-headlining.
Yeah. Mary Beth Barone and the London Heckler. We both do our half hours.
And then I do my hour of stand-up.
Yeah, we're opening for you. So I've given it, actually, I'm sort of just realizing this now, but I went to Catholic school till I was 14, and then I went to public high school. And then when I went back to Boston College, it just reminded me so much of being at Greenwich Catholic, where I just felt like such a weirdo. And like, I'm definitely weird and goofy, and part of this podcast is allowing people to let their freak flags fly. Ribbit!
Cute?
Cute? I'm not cute.
That's you in the Boston College Library.
It really is. And then when I chose to leave, I think that was like, I was just really feeling like my old self in not a good way. Like going to public school and making my amazing friends that I still have to this day. We all celebrated each other being funny and goofy and like left of center or whatever. And I just think feeling that way again, even for Halloween, like I felt like, people didn't put in as much effort as I did. And I remember freshman year, I wore my dad's like Navy button down from when he was in the Navy with the name tag. And I had my little hat on. I was just like, I wanted to have fun. The second night of that weekend, I was the Britney and Madonna from the Britney and Madonna kiss at the VMAs.
Incredible.
With my ex-best friend who came to visit, who, I woke up with gum in my hair that time.
That's a nightmare. What's the movie that happens in?
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. I was
but
about
you cut
to say.
it out, you move on. I still went out that night.
Yeah.
So we went out during the day.
You had a bob.
I had a bob. I cut it into a bob. We went out that day, got drunk, because I think it was a football game, took a nap. I woke up with gum in my hair from the day, occupational hazard. I remember being a sexy Beetlejuice one year. I love having fun with costumes.
Totally. That makes me so sad what you said about you felt like a weirdo again. I think I got lucky at Georgetown because I found people that were so down for me to do all this shit. And we're like my first roommate, shout out Lucas. We love you. You met Lucas in Philly. We were like Buzz and Woody our first year. And that's like hard to get like like a straight dude to go into that costume with you. But
Yeah,
he was
that's
so down,
fun.
and he's so tall. So it was amazing. He was a great Woody and I was Buzz, and we lit it up. We lit up the streets.
And you met my freshman year roommate, who was also
Oh, yeah.
wonderful. But
Yeah.
I feel like, it was the culture. I'm still friends with, I love her to death. She's fabulous. But
Yeah.
sometimes if you don't find like a big group that
Yeah.
you really feel they let you indulge for a moment.
Totally. But I just think that's like a beautiful statement, what you said about college.
Surround yourself with people who.
And now you're with your guy.
I know.
And now I force
and no
you
one
into
does
course.
it bigger.
I force you
King
into
of
courses.
Halloween.
Stop. I'm trying to think if I have any of my Halloween weekend hookups. The cops are here.
They're here. They're taking us. They saw our costumes and we have to go.
Literally.
I gotta go. Hey, you wanted lights? Go see a show.
Well, this gets into our thing that we wanted mugshots taken of us.
I'm trying to figure out who we have a contact with at the NYPD, potentially ACAB, of course, defund the police, abolish them even. But I'm trying to rack my brain, see if we get some mugshots on. Also, I did want to issue a correction from our FIGS episode. Physician's assistants are now called physician assistants because physician's assistant implies ownership. By the way, fabulous Halloween costume. If you have a friend that's working in the medical field, wear figs.
Wear figs.
It's not stolen valor if it's Halloween.
There's one day where it's not stolen valor. That's Halloween. During Halloween weekend, of course. Wearing a figs thong. How fun would that be for a Halloween hookup? To know not only that, but that you commit to the bit and you care about the details.
It's all in the devil is in the details.
I have my Schiaparelli earrings that I made. We spray painted them gold. We went to Michael's in Stamford and I spray painted these Betsy Johnson eyeball earrings gold because I will stop at nothing, period. And my heart goes out to everyone. I do remember the first year I was dating Terry, I went as the genie and he was Teen Wolf. And we like made out and I remember he had blue all over his face. That was, and I sucked him off.
That wasn't the only place he had blue.
He was covered in blue. No, but oh my God, a real, like in college, I just made out with girls. I didn't really take it farther than that.
But that's honestly
that's what
the thesis of a Halloween hookup is to just make out.
Yeah.
And then you leave it at that because then you know what? No strings attached.
Totally.
You walk out with your head held high and you say, I made out with a cute person. Or maybe you don't even know if they're cute. Maybe they're wearing a bunny costume and you can't even see their face until they take the head off and then you make out and you say, you know what? I'm done with this interaction.
We're good.
We're
Bye.
good. Bye.
Ooh, bye. Bye, baby. Oh, wait. Think about this. This might even be spookier than the London Heckler.
Whoa.
Spooky. Senior year of college, I was Tyler Durden and I made out with a girl. I don't know who she was that night at a club. So
we're going to need the footage.
I don't know if I have the footage, but I have the photos. I grew out my chin hair. First time.
His name is Robert Paulson. Taika.
Tyler Durden. me meeting my girls out in the wild. Taika. I go, what? Oh. Do you have like a top 5 Halloween costumes you've ever done?
Katy Perry, Teenage Dream is definitely up there.
Okay.
I was Britney Spears from Oops, I Did It Again in high school.
Incredible.
When I had bangs.
I've done that as well. Yeah.
I was Jasmine from Aladdin as a kid.
Wait, you're not going to bring up recent ones?
Oh, sorry. I was bringing up, obviously the past 3 years. Ever since I signed up for the Benny Drama School ever since I did the Science of Halloween with Benny Drama.
Of course. It's right after Sephora 101.
Sephora 101, Science of Sephora.
Benny Drama 7's Charm School. For young witches and wizards who did not get into Turf Hogwarts.
No, they didn't. Well, I would like to say also, one costume I never got to do was the Pink Power Ranger because the year that my brothers were the blue and the red Power Ranger, the Pink Power Ranger costume, they like underproduced, so they didn't have enough. It sold out so quickly.
They didn't have stock. They didn't have units.
They didn't have units.
They were stuck on the barge.
Yeah, they were stuck because of the supply chain, breakdown in supply chain.
Yeah.
But I want to shout out to my mom because she had 6 kids. That's 6 costumes each year. And she never half-assed it. She always put in so much effort with the costumes.
Your mom, I just want everyone to picture this. I've already scared you enough. No more scary stuff. Let me bring it back down to earth. Let me just chill it all out. Your mom made me a chicken cutlet that had been soaked in buttermilk all night. A little crispy, delicious, as well as a chicken stew. She had like a chowder chicken thing that was just phenomenal. That was just like my lunch.
That's just, she probably made that in just the hours since
Yeah.
she'd woken up.
And then she goes, love ya.
Love you, kid.
Love
Bye,
you,
kids.
Love you, sweetie.
Crafty queen. Very creative with
It's
the
really hard
costumes,
for
too.
me to choose. I love this year. I mean, I can't. This is.
Well,
I
let
love
me
it.
ask you, top 5 costumes.
Top 5 costumes. My God. Well, the Willy Wonka, I think, set off everything because I was young and I knew that I could feel that again one day. But sadly, in middle school and high school, I couldn't do it. So then in college, I couldn't spend that much money on it because it's like you had to buy like booze.
Yeah.
So
Priorities.
yeah. So it would be like, $20 at like Spirit. But those were good. I was really proud of those costumes. But
Oh, I know my top costume ever.
okay.
Posh Spice.
Yeah.
I think I was 5. And my
That's
mom got
incredible.
me a black dress from Filene's basement that was spaghetti strap, but she made it into a halter top so it would stay up.
So
it was this
cute.
sleek black dress. Imagine a 4-year-old, 5-year-old maybe. Sleek black dress.
Serving.
I'm wearing my mom's shoes that were crocodile stilettos, strappy black stilettos. And I had a little black velvet bag with Posh Spice in my pocket, the book.
Imagine you like that and I'm Willy Wonka. We're out on the town.
Oh. And I also had
Trick or treats.
fake nails.
Stop.
I was a glamour girl.
Well, of course you were.
From day
You've always
one.
been a glamour puss.
Yeah. So that is one that's burned in my brain. I was so proud of that costume.
I cannot believe I haven't done it today.
There's a cat in my room.
Is there a cat in my room?
Top costume, favorite ever.
Top
Go.
costume. Let me go top 5.
Glock 17 to your head.
Glock 17. It's a faggot.
What?
It's a Fendi
Did
baguette.
you just come up with that?
Yeah.
I just watched that episode.
Yeah.
It's a baguette.
It's a faggot. Me with my Fendi bag. So,
It's so important.
I would say I have one coming this year that I think will end up on the list. Okay, I'm not going to do Willy Wonka. That's just like of the past that I loved. So
Mhm.
Posh is your past.
Yeah.
You still have to give me, it's really hard for me to choose between your Travis and your Paris. Because Travis was so, Ally McGillicuddy, who did the makeup, dear God. That was like,
They've all been
I've
so
never
great.
laughed harder. But Paris, it just was like, oh my God, it was like uncanny to me. So tie for me. And then my favorite, Lizzie McGuire igloo dress was very special. It was the first time I had a costume with Christopher Palou. I just asked if anyone like knew someone who makes costumes, and he was so sweet, and immediately like we collaborated and just a doll. And he was with us the other day putting
Lifelong
these
partnership.
on. Yeah, he was
in my
incredible.
house.
You were he was living in my house. Well, when I'm staying in Mary Beth's apartment, my room, which is it's a part of the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in my room.
Don't.
Hey, knock before you go in my room. And it's her house. So that one, I don't know. I had wanted to be, that was my dream to be that as a kid. So it felt like kind of a lifelong goal.
Wish
and I got to
fulfillment.
be the Lizzie McGuire movie igloo dress. So that was
Yeah.
like, that was very special. I loved being Kylie and Kendall with Terry. That was the first time we did a couple's costume.
Those were amazing dresses.
And Christopher. And that was just like, oh my God, we had such a fun night. We went to Heidi Klum's Halloween party. And that was like also as a kid in Idaho. If you would have told me I went to that party.
yeah,
I mean, gratitude alert. It's happening on camera.
it's gratitude.
So that was
and
huge.
That's huge.
And I loved Brittany last year with all the girls at her wedding because that was just like a celebration of me and my girls and my number one girl, Brittany.
And
So-
Donatella.
And Donatella. So that was explosive. And spending the night with you as Paris and Brittany, that was like, that I loved so much.
I think post-pandemic, use Halloween as an opportunity to build buzz, go out, have an amazing time with your friends, make out with someone if you choose to, if you meet someone that's worthy,
Mhm.
and just like drink responsibly. If you have tickets to a comedy show, pace yourself.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
One drink, one water.
One drink, one water.
So I'm breaking the fourth wall a lot today because
I
they're
know,
going to
you've
get
been
this
looking
whole
at the cameras.
episode.
I'm just all eyes on you.
Okay, so ride or die. I think we should get into ride or die.
Of course, I'm going to ride for the London Heckler.
How could we not?
It was a labor of love, and my heart goes out to everyone. I feel like as a performer, it's good to have those experiences where you have to really just like be funny on the fly.
Mhm.
And I was up there with you, so I've never felt more safe.
Oh, totally. I would say I probably would not have ridden so hard for the London Heckler if it was a solo show. Being on stage with you, it just became a thing where it was like something between us again and the audience. That was so fun. So that's a very good point.
Exactly. So I hope that she has a
Good
great
point. I guess a woman spoke and I liked it.
You doing that as Kylie?
As Kylie? Kylie as Timmy, as straight guy, toxic. Yeah. Layers. Fourth wall.
Start peeling them back. So I ride, of course.
Yeah. I knew you would.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Spooktober for cripe's sake.
Spooky.
You know what was spooky is last night, to tie it back to the Metrograph in Times Square, there's something that cinephiles do. And how cool is it to be in a room with a bunch of cinephiles? Well, that's still our community.
Again, I was with you, so I felt safe. If I'd been there on my own.
If I could move my face more with my face tape, I would really laugh, sister. It's so funny. There's something that cinephiles do, and I love speaking as things. Things are monoliths to me, so this is it. This is for every cinephile. That's what I mean when I say something. When I say something about straight guys, I mean every fucking one.
Same.
Yeah. So cinephiles, they'll do this thing where if something's like clever, they'll do kind of like a bigger laugh
To show their intelligence.
To show their intelligence, to show that they're like, I knew that was clever. So they'll go.
Well, the guy behind us was doing that the whole
movie.
night. Yeah.
And every time he did, my intrusive thoughts.
I just wanted to turn around and see what he looked like, but I knew he would know that I was doing that because of his laugh, and I didn't want to make him feel self-conscious.
I just thought of something crazy.
What?
Terry and I's Marilyn and Jackie.
Yeah.
That was also very special. And that was kind of Terry. That was me also kind of like, I had thought of the idea with Terry, and then I kind of was just like, I want to be the Marilyn who's saying, Happy birthday, Mr. President. Can you show me the way to Hollywood? I want to be in the movies, Mr. Roth. I guess I'm talking to Eli Roth. That was that vibe. So, I don't know. I don't know what made me think of that. I just really want Edward to be Jackie Kennedy one year. We have the costume. Christopher made it. It's ready to go. I ride for Halloween hookups. I ride for Halloweekend. I just think it's so fun. As long as they're safe and you're not hurting anyone. I think it's such a fun satanic holiday. And I just give
And
it.
how many of those do we get in a year? Not enough.
Only two.
Only two.
It's Halloween.
And
Christmas. Halloween and Christmas. Are two satanic holidays. Yeah, it's just so fun. You know, obviously practice safe sex. I don't think anything can be cooler than that. But
or don't have sex at all. Just kiss.
I'm just picturing Jackie. I mean, Terry and I, when we're in those costumes, there is like a moment where, you know, like throughout the night, we're like kissing and stuff. It's so fun.
It's so fun.
To just be a couple lesbos.
Totally could.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah. I think that's how we have to end this episode. Thank you so much.
Everyone enjoy Halloween. Be safe. Make good decisions. Have friends with you. Be careful.
Oh, yes, please. Have friends with you. It actually, like, I wish they could all have our number, but it's kind of like we want to sleep over at the Baronies, but we would need a lock on the door.
Yeah. I think if you're in trouble, find someone. If you're in trouble, find a woman with a kind face, and she will help you get to where you need to go.
She will guide you. If it happens to be both of us, well, we would love to make sure you get home safe.
We'll lay down on train tracks for you.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Spooky.